Alright, so let's go to this slide. 9B part 2. So this is going to be the second part of 9B. And then tomorrow we'll just finish up with 9C. And then you guys can continue doing some work. You might have a CFAT tomorrow as well, so just keep that in mind, please. And it'll just be covering 9A and 9B, I believe. Alright, so 9B, part 2 here, we're going to look at measures of center. So when we talk about the measures of center, we're talking about a single number that kind of represents the whole set of numbers, but it's basically a center or a middle band or middle sort of representation of all the numbers. Okay, and there's different ways to find different measures of center. You've probably already measured or used some of this before, like the mean and the median. And one thing that's not included here is the mode. So I would put that in there as well. But as a success criteria, I would like you guys to be able to find the mean, the median, the mode, and also understand skews. Skews, okay? You've probably never seen this word before, but skew refers to shape. So whenever you see the word shape of a graph, it's talking about the skew. And the skew, again, is a measure or a descriptor of the center of the graph. Okay, so let's get into what all this means. Measures of center. Okay, there's three main ones that you have probably all learnt about over the years in your schooling. So you know the mean. Okay, it does not mean that you're being not nice. It's the mean, which is basically, other people call it the average. Okay, the average. Another word for the mean is the average. Okay, so when you're asked to find the mean, all you're doing is you're adding all of the numbers together, and then you're dividing it by the number of numbers. Okay, that's all it is. You've probably done that many, many times before, so we don't need to go over it again. Just make sure when you do this, I've seen some people do this, where say, for example, they've got a set of numbers and they're trying to find the mean. So they've gone like 9 plus 2 plus 3 plus 5 plus 6. And then they went divided by 5. Why is this wrong?
Because you just
Why is this wrong, guys?
you're not dividing the total.
Yeah, you're not dividing the total. You're only dividing 6 by 5. Okay, your calculator is going to think, oh yeah, do this together and then add it with that. You have to make sure you use brackets. Okay, like that. Add all the numbers together, then divide it by 5. Okay? You have to use brackets. Don't make the mistake of not using the brackets. Median. Now, I mentioned that the median is the middle number. When you do your median, you have to make sure your numbers are all in order. Okay, do not do the median if your numbers are like this: 9, 5, 7, 1, 3, 2. Okay, because you might tell me, I'll put a 10 here. Oh yeah, the median is 7 because it's the middle number. But no, it has to be put in numerical order first. Okay, put it in order first before you find a median. If you have like a really high number of numbers, use this little formula to determine the position. Okay, so that's the position of median. Okay, so if you want to find the location, if you have like 50 numbers or like 39 numbers, for example, use this formula to find the position of the median. So n refers to the number of numbers. Okay, that's what n represents there. And mode's really easy. It's just the one that appears the most or the most frequent number.
By numbers and numbers, you mean total?
Not the total, just how much numbers are there in that. Yeah, so the total, when you say total, you're probably referring to adding everything together. But when I say number of numbers, it's just how many numbers do you have. Okay, that's what it refers to. All right, let's move on. And mode, again, easy, just the most frequent number. Measures of center, mean and mode. So here's an example of finding the mean and the mode. So again, with the mean, you want to make sure that you add all the numbers together, like so. Okay, and then you make sure you use brackets for it. Or if you want on your calculator, and I know some people do this, they literally just press the fraction button, and then they work it out like that. So add all the numbers up, then go to the bottom number, and put the number of numbers. Yeah, so you can do it like that. But Otherwise, make sure you use brackets. And the mean, according to this, is 23. Sure. Mode, again, most recurring number in this data set, 18. Okay. It's not 9, it's not 27, because they only appear twice, whereas 18 appears 3 times. So that's the mode. The median, okay, now this one here is a little bit tricky. They've already worked it out here for you, but for the median, yes, Nazmi, you can have multiple modes. So if you have, for example, good question, there was an extra 9 here. Sorry, Alt 4. So if they had like an extra 9 here and then an extra 27, then that means you've got 3 modes, 9, 18, and 27. Okay. Good question. All right, so for the median, now here I don't think they've already sort of done the example for you, but median is basically the middle number, right? You got to make sure your numbers are in order, and you can see here that the median, if you have an odd number of numbers, so there's two. The reason why they have 2 examples here is if you have an odd number of numbers. Okay, the median is actually going to be a solid number. Okay, as in it's a number in your number set. But if you have an even number of numbers, it's going to be in between. Okay, I'll do an example here real quick. Let's use really easily go 3, 7, 9, 10, 12. Okay. So what is my mode here? My median. 9, because 9 is the median. So here's my number of numbers, my data set. It's an odd number of numbers. So because it's odd, you can, I guess, there's a couple ways of doing this. You can be a noob and say like, oh, just cancel out the numbers as you go. So you can go like, oh, yep, that and that. Oh, there's my middle number, easy. Or you can use the formula that they've given you, which is n plus 1 divided by 2. Gives you the position of the median. So that means, in this case, if I have 5 numbers, plus 1 divided by 2 equals 3, the third number, 1, 2, 3, is your median. Okay, so that's well and truly okay. But then now what happens if you have an odd number of numbers? So let's say you have 3, 7, 9, 10, 12, and 15. Where would my median lie in this case? Okay, well, because it's an even number of numbers, it's going to lie between 2 numbers. In this case, I use my formula of n plus 1 divided by 2. That would be 6 plus 1 divided by 2, which equals 3.5. That means my 3.5th number is the middle number. So I've got 1, 2, 3.5, which is right here in the middle. Okay, shh. Thank you, guys. So, what's the middle number? In this case, if it's between 2 numbers, 9 and 10, what would it be? Yes. Yep, so, shh. Thank you, guys. So, to find the middle number, if it's between 2 numbers, okay, what we do as, what's your name? Raquel Priestley said, add the 2 numbers together and divide it by 2. So 9 plus 10 equals 19. Then you divide it by 2 equals 19. And that equals 9.5. So the median is 9.5, right there in the middle.
But could you kind of guess that?
Yes, you could. If you were smart enough, you could just go, oh, it's 9.5. Yes. Yes, this one for finding the median, yes. But for this one, it's just a position of the median, yeah? Let's say, for example, I'm going to be tricky now. What if I went and just put, let's get rid of all this, 9 there. So what's my median now? 9, good. Okay, what if I went and put 11? What's my median now? Well, you can do 9 plus 11 divided by 2, and that'll equal 10. Yeah, easy. So the median is the middle number. All right. Next measure of center, I believe, is the skews. Okay. Let's go to this part here. So we've done mean, median, mode. Now let's do the skews. So this will be the last bit, and then that'll be it for 9C, I believe. Oh, yep, I think it is. Oh, there's more. My goodness. Okay, let's smash this out. So skews, there's only really 3 that you need to know. But in year 11, I have to make a note for this and for you guys to know that for this, you barely use symmetrical. You should use approximately symmetrical. Okay, I would write that in your notes because nowhere in your, actually, sometimes you come across a graph that is symmetrical, which means that it's the same on both sides. So let's say my middle bar was there and it's the same on both sides. That is definitely symmetrical, yes. But it's not. That's why we use approximately. Okay? Because in year 11, your graphs will always look something like this. Yeah, a little bit different. Yeah, so not exactly symmetrical. It'll be approximately symmetrical. Okay, so if your graph looks something like this, where it's got like a bell curve shape, it's approximately symmetrical. Okay, if your graph looks like this, where it starts off high and then it goes down, it's positively skewed. So the tail is in the end, it's positive. But if it starts off low, then it goes up, then it's negatively skewed. Okay, so keep that in mind. Positively skewed starts high, goes down. Negative starts low, then goes up. Really quickly, some representations of this in a bar chart. Sorry, not bar chart, a box plot. This is what a symmetrical box plot will look like. And I want you to draw this because we don't do enough of this. That's a symmetrical box plot. Okay, that's what it looks like. And you'll probably come back to this a little bit later. A positively skewed box plot looks like this. Okay, it looks like that. And then a negatively skewed box plot will look like this. Okay, do you guys sort of see the pattern here of where the box is? So if your box is more on the left, it's going to be positive. If it's more on the right, then it's negative. Okay, so just keep that in mind. These are simple representations of the skews as well for your box plots. Okay, so if you want to, please draw them. You will need them. You will definitely need them. Okay, 4 more minutes. Let's keep going. We copied it down. Alright, next part. Otherwise, this is all in one note. So let's describe some of these. I think the answers are given to you. But looking at this graph here, guys. So looking at the way that it forms, it starts low, then it goes up, and it comes down. So what's the skew for this? What's the skew? So if you look at the skews, yeah, so it starts low, then it goes up, so it should be negatively skewed. Okay, for a dot plot like this, okay, it looks like it's kind of just trails off in the middle like that. So what would this one be? Approximately symmetrical. Okay, this one here on the European cars, looking at the box plot, I can see there's an outlier there. But the data, if you look at where the mean is, or the median, sorry, it looks like it goes like this. So what would this be? Good. This would be positively skewed. Oops.
So with the approximately symmetrical,
Mm-hmm.
would you just write approximately?
Yes, I would write approximately symmetrical.
So you both of those.
You have to put both, yeah. Okay? You have to. In year 11, if you just wrote symmetrical or approximately separately, it wouldn't be correct. Next one. Here, the stem and leaf plot. Okay, so you kind of have to turn your head to the right for this, like that, and see how the shape works for it. I would say it's positive, yeah, because it goes like this and it goes down like that. So this will be positively skewed. This one here, same thing. It's easy to dot plot. It goes like that. So it's positively skewed. Okay. This box plot down here. Okay, I would say if you look at it, it should look something like this. And it just trails off down there. So this would be negatively skewed. And the last one here, turn your head to the right again. I can see that it starts low, then it goes high, like that. So it should be negatively skewed. Okay. And I might actually stop that there.